Children, this is your science period. As you know, we are in chapter number 1, that is nutrition in plants. Today is the fourth part of the same chapter. Children, till yesterday we have studied about the nutrients and the mode of nutrition. And among the mode of nutrition, we have studied about the autotrophic as well as the heterotrophic mode of nutrition. Then we saw how the plants which have leaves, colored leaves, are still going on the process of photosynthesis and are able to prepare their food. Apart from that, we have studied about the synthesis of food other than carbohydrate. Children, today we are going to study on the other modes of nutrition in plants. So children, as you know, there are some plants which do not have chlorophyll, but still they synthesize the food. So how do they survive and from where do they derive their nutrition? So, like the other organisms, that is, like the human beings and the animals, such plants also depend on the other food producers for their food, and they are said to be heterotrophic mode of nutrition which is followed by them. Children, when you pass on the road, you might have seen sometimes on the side of the road there are trees which are covered with green colored twinnings. So these are another type of plant which are considered to be under the category of heterotrophic plants. These plants, they take the nutrition from the other plants, or else we can say they are depending on the other plants. Yes, children, these yellow color wiry branches which you might have often seen twining around the stem and the branches of the trees is none other than a plant called cuscuta, and in Hindi we call it as amar bel. It does not have chlorophyll, but it takes the ready-made food from the plants on which it is climbing. The plant on which it climbs is called the host, and since it derives its food from these hosts, that means getting the valuable nutrients from the other plants, so they are considered to be parasites. Children, are we and the other animals also a kind of parasite? Now, what do you think? No, human and animals are not parasites to the plant because we do not live in or on plants for the purpose of nutrition. Instead, we human and animals are dependent on the plants for the purpose of food and shelter. So children, now Paheli, as you know, wants to know whether these mosquitoes, bed bugs, lice, leeches, etc., which suck the blood, are also parasites. Yes, because these organisms, they derive their food from the human. Now here again you can see an plant which is categorized under the carnivorous plant. So, have you seen or heard of these plants that can eat animals? I hope all of you might have heard about them, and even you might have seen these plants in many of the other channels such as your Geographic, National Geographic, etc. Among them, one is very common, and that is your pitcher plant. I hope you have studied in your previous standards also. Such plants, they trap the insect and they digest them. So children, is it not so amazing that such plants which are green or some other colors, these plants, they have a pitcher-like or jug-like structure which is a modified part of the leaf. The apex of the leaf here forms a lid which can open and close the mouth of the pitcher. Inside the pitcher, there are hairs which are directed downwards. Now, when an insect it lands within this pitcher, the lid of it closes and the insect is trapped inside and which is entangled into the hairs. The lid which closes traps the insects inside. This insect which is trapped is digested by the digestive juices which are secreted within the pitcher and its nutrients are absorbed by the plant. Such insect eating plants are called to be your insectivorous plants. So here you can see the structure of, either you can see the picture of your pitcher plant. Pitcher plant, as you have noticed that it is in the form of a pitcher and it has got hairs inside it, and these hairs help in trapping the insect. Is it possible that such plants which do not get all the required nutrients from the soil in which they grow? Yes. The insectivorous plants which grows in the soil do not contain sufficient nitrogen minerals. And as you know, nitrogen is an important mineral for the plants. So these plants which are green and they carry out the process of photosynthesis obtain a part of the food which is required by them. So they do not get this nitrogen from the soil in which they grow, for which they catch the insects. Now Bozo is confused. If the pitcher plant is green in color and it carries out the process of photosynthesis, then why does it feeds on the insect? So, to answer Bozo, I will tell that plants need nitrogen to grow, while most of the plant get their dose of nitrogen from the soil nitrates. The carnivorous animals which lack the supply of this nitrogen, they live in the bogs. So thus to overcome, either to get the adequate amount of nitrogen which is essential for their growth, these carnivorous plants they feed on the insect. So some more other carnivorous animals are your sundew plant, your Venus flytrap. So I hope now you have understood what are these carnivorous animals and how do they capture the insect and what is the need of capturing these insects. So for you children, for today home assignment, you will write down these 3 questions and you will write down the answer for them. First question is, what is parasite? Second one, what is a host? And third one, what do insectivorous plants do to overcome the deficiency of nitrogen? So children, here when you can see the picture of an insectivorous plant, that is your pitcher plant, where it has you can see a small rat going inside the pitcher, and after some time the lid will be closed and thus this organism will be trapped inside and its digestive juices will be taken up, either digested by the plant. So hoping that you have understood with the topic. Bye bye. Saira.